Morning folks, Rick here from the LaLa farm. We're going to start that pig pen today. Stay tuned. Hey folks, that time has arrived. Fall is here. That doesn't mean it's going to be cool, but it's going to be cooler. In the low 80s versus the upper 80s, mid 90s, high 90s. And as you know, we're getting pigs within the next couple of months, so we got to get this structure done. So this is a pole barn that I had built for no particular reason other than I got a really excellent price on it when I had the main barn built. I had the guy that built the main barn throw this one in for, I want to say I paid $500 for this structure, and it's been just sitting here for about 4 years. I knew at one point it's going to be a livestock shelter, just didn't know when, didn't know what the configuration was going to look like. Well, now I know. This square right here in the middle, that's the existing building that you see right there. That's going to be kind of a common area where we can transfer animals between pens. Because we're starting with an existing structure, starting with this pole barn, I don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal to kind of add on to that. We're simply adding some lean-tos. I know that this existing structure is set square. It's in concrete in the ground. I think those posts are set 3 foot in the ground and then set into concrete. When this is all done, probably gonna be a longer video because it's gonna be multiple videos kind of stitched together. You know, whenever we do these building videos, we get a lot of interest in these videos. Particularly, I still get requests regarding the big barn all the time. So this one's going to be built fairly similarly, except I'm on a much smaller scale. Just a lean-to on each side. We'll put the roof joists up, and then we're going to have a metal roof on this that will come off all 4 sides. As we're doing pieces that I think need to be explained, I'll probably stop and kind of talk to the camera. But other than that, I'm just going to set the camera off to the side, let you watch. Frankly, doing videos really slows work process down a lot. Those that try to do these instructional videos and they give a lot of narration and stop and explain what they're doing, man, more power to you, because it takes forever. I think it'll be pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing, but we'll see.
Well, I woke up early in the driving rain, found John's out hitting on the liquor again. It wasn't too late, about 10:30 when he let loose what the cat dragged in. It was a Sunday. And that morning came in morning when he tried to make me pay the rent. Said, I ain't got no money for you, can I pay my way with these dancing shoes? Thought I was kidding. Brother, what you owe me, I can't count on anymore, till the police come and knocking on our door. We'll be burning down the house, tear it to the ground, burn it up, tear it down, burning down the house. Well, I spent some time in a backwoods town, ain't nothing to do 'cause there ain't nothing around. Deputy sheriff ran around the block, but the streets are empty and the doors are locked. Got pretty lonely. And that preacher there came, rang my bell, told me a little about heaven and a lot about hell. Said, I ain't got no money for you, can I pay my way with these dancing shoes? Thought I was kidding. I was not kidding. Father, what you owe me, can't count on anymore. Till the angels come a knocking on our door. We'll be burning down the house, tear it to the ground, burn it up, tear it down, burning down the house. The world outside is mad and cold. You don't grow up, you just grow old. Soon it's over, so they say. But God Almighty, till that day, we'll be burning down the house, tear it to the ground, burn it up, tear it down, burning down the house. We'll be burning down the house, tear it to the ground, burn it up, tear it down, burning down the house.
Hey, good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, but I wanted to give you kind of an interim update as to where we are in this time lapse, because I posted on our community page last night a little picture. I think we only got like 8 posts left to set, and then I can start putting the header beams in, and we'll call the concrete guy in, and things will really start humming along. So let me show you where we are. Kind of easier to see now, kind of picture what I'm doing. So this is what we got done yesterday. So what we got here is we took the pole barn. Sorry about the chickens. This is our front coop chickens. You guys hardly ever see these guys. This is mainly meat birds. We got a few that have migrated from the back coop and moved in up here, but all these big white ones right here, these are a French Brisset breed. These are our meat chickens. And they kind of free range until we want to start breeding them for get the eggs, and we'll hatch them out. But this is the populace of our front coop. All the rest of them are in that back coop on the back of the goat barn. I digress. All right, so what we got up here is I see a lot of posts on Facebook where they're asking, why is my rooster beating up on my hen? And it kind of makes me laugh, because they're not beating up on your hen. They're trying to mate your hen. So little Rodney, that's big Rodney, that's the main Rodney. That's little Rodney. We thought he was a hen at first. Just tried to mate that splash Andalusian that's flying back to the back coop right now. She's up where she don't belong. So that's little Rodney. So little Rodney, when we process next time, little Rodney's going to freezer camp. This big Rodney, he's one heck of a specimen. That's a big boy. I don't know if you can catch it. Look at the talons on the back of his feet. Look how sharp those are. But he's as gentle as can be. All right, back to the barn. All right, so we started with this 12 by 12 pole barn. We've got a lot of the posts set going around the interior. Interior is where all of the doors are going to be. So this is going to be an 8-foot door in this area right here. This is going to be a 3-foot door, 3-foot door, 3-foot door, and then 3 3-foot doors along this wall. So each one of these are in line, set on a string line. This is the outside wall. So this, from that post to this post on the outside, is 7 foot 6.5 inches. So that's where they're set. Each one is set on a string line. What we have done up to this point, we put a line across here. For example, this corner post, and then it gets set. It's off a little bit. It gets set to wherever those lines intersect, and then we'll do the same thing on each one of the corners. So on this side, here, which is the front that will face the pasture, the back side here, which is the north side, and then the other side over there right behind my truck, which is the that is the eastern side of the barn. Each one of those are just going to be lean-tos. There will be no gates exiting the structure from these. This right here will be a pass-through from the shelter of the barn out to the main pasture. So this is another one of our winter projects this year. This pasture, which will go from the barn all the way down this fence line, almost to that 4-rail wood fence out on the hard road, over to the main entry gate, and then back down the driveway and then somewhere cut across here. It's going to come around the front over here of the front chicken coop. That will not be within the pasture. That will all be fenced in. And this will be where we put our feeder steer, our feeder hogs, and our Nigerian bucks. So this right here, you can't see it because Rick keeps it mowed down pretty good. But this is a really mature, good Bahia grass field. It takes him an hour just to mow this field every time he does, and it's kind of a waste because that could be an excellent feed source for a steer or for pasture raised hogs, which is kind of the direction that we're going. This fence line right here, when that fence goes in, we're putting it as tight up. There's another fence there, but it's a rather cheap fence. That will be, I think we're going to put another fence in there, but the Nigerians will feed along that fence. That's a perfect browse source for them, and they are really not as aggressive on forage as our Kikos are. So that's kind of where we're at. Each one of these posts have been kind of set in line with each other using a string line. See how they're pretty lined up. To set them, very straightforward. I got a post hole digger that we could put on the tractor, but given where we're trying to do all this and the tight space we're doing it, we chose not to use that. So I've been digging these posts by hand. Very straightforward. Once we figure out where the post goes, we dig the hole, set the post in the hole, and then go on to the next one. The ones that I've got bracing on, that is nothing more than to just kind of keep it straight, because I was setting those by myself. I didn't have any help when I set these. So some of them I've put bracing on, some of them I haven't. So I wait for the concrete to set up and then pull the bracing off. So everything is a 6x6 post. We put that on our old green trailer. There goes LaLa off to the barn. Feed the goats. There's Booney. He just came back. He had a slumber party last night at Little Rick's house. He went back with a monster all night long, and about 8 o'clock this morning we see him poking his nose up at the front door, wanting to come back in. So he came back home. Went to their house last night about 10 o'clock. Came back home about 8 o'clock this morning. The concrete that we're using is a quick set. This is kind of what we've kind of come to use on almost all of the projects that we do, which is a fast setting concrete mix. We use this on posts. We use this on just about everything that we do. If we're going to do like a pad, we call the professionals to do that work. But this stuff is excellent. It sets up so that your post is stable in about 30 minutes. Takes longer than that obviously to dry, but that helps with not having to brace a lot of what we're doing. So I got to pull this water line back up to beyond the outside here. So we're going to come out here. That water line's probably right about here. It runs from the dog kennel straight over here to there. So it crosses probably right about here. We're going to be digging that up, cutting it, capping it, and then rerunning it probably to this post right here, and that's where the water will enter this structure. So that's yet to be done, but it's coming. It's a coming. All right, Thursday, weeknight. Getting back at it. Need to get this thing done so we can get the concrete back in. So here's what we finished up last weekend. This should be the last video of the posts. So we got this whole side set. This is the main entry door where the tractor, side by side, whatever will go into. This is the last side that I got left to work on. So I've got 2 more posts to set that will be in line with these 2 posts right here. This will be a catch pen. So I have one to set here and another to set there. And this will be a wrap. So LaLa just yelled at me, dinner's ready. So I gotta go eat. Hopefully I'll have enough sunlight to get these last 2 set today. I'm coming! Goodness, I appreciate her so much. Hopefully we'll be able to get these last 2 set tonight. And then I can start putting in the headers. So